Hello everyone, Disney Dude here. Please like this video, hit that thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel for more content. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about the, where the Monsters, Inc. Mini-themed land is going inside of Hollywood Studios. So, we've already had that conversation of it's not going in, it's not replacing Muppet Vision 3D, so I don't need to bore you with that whole thing. I've already done my whole rant about that. So I don't need to have that discussion again. So I don't need to bore you with that again. But they're going to put, Monsters, Inc. where Star Wars Launch Bay is. So they're going to take out Launch Bay and put in, the Monsters, Inc. mini-themed area. Now, I want to give you a little background on, Hollywood Studios, MGM if you want, okay? So, let's go back. So, when Hollywood Studios was first opened, it was not built to be a full theme park, okay? It only had 2 rides, okay? The Great Movie Ride and the Tram Tour, okay? That was it, period. Alright, so it, and then of course, it had the stage shows later, Beauty and the Beast, Indiana Jones, and a little later, Voyage of the Little Mermaid. So it had those as well. Okay, but it only had 2 rides. Okay, and they were, because this park was not built to be a full theme park, the rides were longer, okay? So the Great Movie Ride was a 20-minute ride. The Tram Tour initially was a 2-hour tram tour, okay? I mean, can you even think about that nowadays? Having a 2-hour, Disney ride, it would be like, oh my God. Oh, yeah. Okay? But that was it. Okay, that was, it was built, the Tram Tour was built as a way for you to see how they made, your favorite movies, okay? So, it started out with a water stunt show, a boat stunt show on the water, which I still have no idea what they called it. I don't even know if it even had a name, to be honest with you. But anyway, so going back, so when people said, look, that tram tour, that's a little much. Can you cut that down? Okay, 2 hours is way too long. Way too long. So it kept getting cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut until it was a 25-minute experience, including that water boat stunt show and Catastrophe Canyon at the end. Okay, so in the beginning of the experience, you would go see that water boat stunt show, and that would take about 5 minutes. The stunt show would take about 5 minutes, and then after that, you would go and you would board your tram, and you would take the tram tour throughout the different locations throughout backstage, and you also went behind the Lights, Motors, Action stunt show. Okay, so, and then So you went through the costuming department. You went through the if anything was being filmed, you were going, you still went through the filming stages anyway, but if anything was filmed, you were able to see that being filmed as you were riding through. And it took you all throughout backstage, and the finale of the ride was Catastrophe Canyon, where you got to watch a live. It was a live. They weren't, taping it or anything. It was just for show, but you were watching in theory, you were watching a live stunt being performed using a old gas truck. So the director would call action, and then the truck would honk its horn. This was all automated. Would honk its horn, and then all of a sudden it would explode. Okay, it would catch on fire, and then all of a sudden you had millions and millions and millions and millions gallons of water come rushing down, and it would completely douse the whole truck, and take out the fire, and it would also get whoever was on the eye hole wet, kind of wet. It wasn't like a shower or anything, but you did get wet. So, and then it would take you back to the unload area, and then you would exit the ride experience, and and then you would go off to explore the rest of the park. So that's the way that MGM Studios was that was the idea. Okay, the idea was that you are going behind the scenes to watch how your favorite movie or TV show was made. Okay, and then you rode the Great Movie Ride, which took you through scenes of your favorite movies. So you had Mary Poppins, you had The Wizard of Oz, you had Casablanca, you had Tarzan, all that, but that was the 1930s version, okay? Not the animated version, but the 1930s version. You had Tarzan, you had The Public Enemy, you had you went through a Western, you went through Alien, you went through Indiana Jones. So you went through all these different films that used live actors and also live effects. So you had fire, and you had you had different you had smoke effects, and you had fire, and you had all kinds of different things going on. So it wasn't just a ride, it was an experience. And that was a 20-minute experience, because again, this park was not built for rides. It only had 2 rides. That was it. Okay, and then the rest of it was either show based, like Beauty and the Beast live on stage, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Indiana Jones, the Monster Sound Stunt Show, American Idol, whatever, the American Idol experience. So the rest of it was shows. Okay, so then when the idea was, someone had the idea of changing the theme park, so someone decided that the movie making theme park is dead. Okay, it's dead. So we need to do something else. So instead of having people look what was behind the curtain. It was like, okay, now instead of doing that, we're putting you in your favorite movies and you're the star. So it was, that was like, oh, okay, and so it was a totally different experience. And then when they decided to get rid of so they decided to close the car stunt show and the boat water stunt show, and then they decided to close the tram tour. And it was decided that they were going to build Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge in those spaces, okay? And then when Bob Chapek became the CEO, he instead of doing the right thing and saying, when he looked at the Great Movie Ride, instead of saying, that's a cool ride, but it could be updated. We could update that ride to include probably more Disney films and, probably do something of that nature. Because, again, most of those movies in that ride, Disney did not own, okay? They did not own, now they kind of own Indiana Jones, but they did not own The Wizard of Oz, okay? They did not own Casablanca. They did not own Tarzan, okay? The Public Enemy, Alien. They did not own a lot of these films. So I'm sure that they had to pay, royalties or something. So after a while they were like, why don't we, we could, do an overhaul of that attraction, and we could, make more, we could put more Disney films in this ride, so you can go through, I'm just spitballing because we never had an idea of what they were doing, what the original plan was, but it could have been like, you go through Fantasia, you go through, you probably would still go through Mary Poppins, you would go through, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas, Snow White, Pinocchio, Dumbo, Sleeping Beauty. I'm just naming movies because we never had an idea. Okay, that was ripped from us. And then Bob Chapek was like, no, that's going to cost too much money to update that ride. Let's just get rid of it because the Great Movie Ride has served its purpose. So this genius, okay, gets rid of probably one of the greatest rides ever, and says, we're going to make a Mickey Mouse ride. All right, and in the beginning it still would have kind of been like the Great Movie Ride, where you would have gone through Mickey Mouse's career, beginning with Steamboat Willie in 1928, and then you would have gone all the way through today with the Mickey Mouse shorts on Disney Plus. Okay, that's what that would have been. You would have taken a trip through Mickey Mouse's film career, starting from Steamboat Willie all the way to now with the Mickey Mouse shorts. And again, Bob Chapek, being a numbers guy, was like, no, that's going to cost too much money. We're not doing that. We're going to do something different. And he looked at those animated shorts on Disney Plus and like, let's do that. Okay? And some people, they either love them or they don't love them. I like them. I like them. They're kind of like a return to the 1930s style, which some people don't really like. I liked it. Much more cartoonier than you would normally think Disney. Because, Disney today's not really, even though it's animated, it's not really like, cartoon characters, ripping off their arms and or, exploding things or, something like that, So these cartoons were kind of like a return to the 1930s shorts, okay? And so it was, I really didn't like that idea. I would have liked either an updated Great Movie Ride, or I would have liked the Great Mickey Ride. I thought that was a viable idea, okay? And then Chapek was like, no, we're not doing that. We're doing this instead. So the ride opens, and it was, I go through this ride, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my God, what have they done? It feels cheap. It feels, it's not timed out right. The animatronics look like garbage. It's not a great ride. It's not a great ride. It's, the trackless thing, that's a cool idea. But it's, the animatronics are just not, they're not great animatronics, okay? They're not great. And the story, it's, if you're sitting in the wrong row, it's, you miss so much story content, okay? So that was awful. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make after this thing is, so they took a theme park that was supposed to be, going behind the scenes and seeing how they made your favorite movies into a park now where you are the star. And it's like that it kind of fits, but it just doesn't make any sense. The park just does not make any sense anymore. So the MGM days are gone. They are gone. And now in its place is this theme park that just does not make any sense anymore. And look, in my opinion, I love Hollywood Studios. Okay, I always will love Hollywood Studios. Okay, but that's because some of my favorite shows are there, and some of my favorite cast members are there. So, Beauty and the Beast Live on Stage is still there. Indiana Jones, Epic Stunt Spectacular is still there. I was really happy that they're updating the Little Mermaid show, so Little Mermaid's still going to be there. That's the rides are not great, okay? The one thing it's got going for it is, Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance still is, probably one of the greatest, I would venture to say one of the greatest theme park attractions ever built, okay? But, every time I walk into that Chinese theater for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it just, a little piece of me dies more. Because it's just like, they took one of the greatest Disney rides and they got rid of it for something that is just so much of a downgrade. It's not even funny, okay? And then they put in Toy Story Land, where they had the tram tour, and it's like, Toy Story Land, I don't like either. It's cheapy. It's amusement park-ish. It's not great. You know, Slinky Dog Dash, I really like Slinky Dog Dash, okay? I'm not going to argue that fact. But the rest of the land is... It's garbage. It's not great. You know, and they've the identity of MGM is gone. Okay, and people say that Epcot has an identity crisis, which it does, but Hollywood Studios has pretty much no identity anymore. It has pretty much no identity anymore. So we just have to accept that fact of you know, the movie making theme park is dead. Okay, and so. And that brings us to today's audiences. So, you know, people go to Hollywood Studios, especially if they're, you know, especially if they're tourists or, you know, have never been, and they go through Hollywood Studios and they don't get it. And it's like, you know, people, you know, I was, speaking of which, I was waiting to enter the theater for Indiana Jones, the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. And so I'm waiting waiting to get in line for it. And another guest, obviously from out of state, has never been here before, walks up to this cast member and says, "Excuse me, where are all the rides in this park?" I mean, so people don't realize that Hollywood Studios only has 9 rides. That's it. Okay? Mickey and Minnie. Rock and Roller Coaster. Tower of Terror. Star Tours. Rise of the Resistance. Millennium Falcon. Alien Swirling Saucers. Slinky Dog Dash, and Toy Story Midway Mania. Those are your 9 rides, okay? Those are your 9 rides. That's it, okay? So, people, when I hear people complain about, you know, how, you know, they're like, you know, Hollywood Studios is boring, and it's, you know, there's not much to do, and it's, people don't realize that this was not built to be a theme park. Okay? It was not built to be a full-day theme park. It was built to be a half-a-day theme park. And it's been so long ago, and, you know, and again, if no one's ever been there before, they don't get it. And it's huh? What? Why are there no rides in this park? They just don't get it. They don't get it. And so, I think that when they open up that new Monsters Inc. land, I think that'll help with this park. It's gonna relieve a lot of pressure off of the other rides. So when they put that Monsters Inc. land in, I think that'll be really interesting. Okay, I agree that they should put Monsters Inc. in. You know, the old me, you know, MGM days says no. You know, but on the other hand, I have to think about, you know, the out of town people and the people that come from out of state, okay? And they're only here once or twice. They're never going to come back again. So you have to build things that they understand, that they get. Otherwise, you're just not going to win them over. So it's, you know, this is not Disneyland, where Disneyland or even Tokyo Disney Tokyo Disneyland or Disney Sea or Disneyland Paris, where they have a more local audience, and you know, the rides there are much more popular because it's a local audience. Disney World is not like that. Disney World is totally different. Sure, there are, you know, some annual pass holders and such, but Disney World is not catering to annual pass holders, okay? Walt Disney World is catering to people that come from other states, other countries, and so you have to make things that they get, that they understand, okay? So as a parks fan, you know, whenever we lose something, it's you know, it's disheartening. But on the other hand, you have to think, you know, that you have to build things that other people are gonna that they understand. Okay? And I think that Monsters Inc. I think that area would be really, really cool to walk through, because Monsters Inc. is one of my favorite films. Okay? So to walk around Monstropolis and walk into Monsters Incorporated, and they're going to build a new roller coaster, and it's going to be themed to the Door Vault. Okay, so it's a so it's going to be the first ever what is it called, hanging roller coaster at Disney, where you're on a platform. At first you're on a platform, and then it's going to raise up, and then it's going to attach to the upper part of the coaster, and then it's going to shoot you out, and you're going to take a trip through the Door Vault, just like Mike and Sully do at the film when they're trying to find Boo's door. And me, as not a roller coaster person, which I don't really even like roller coasters, that actually sounds really fun. It's like I'd ride that, even though it might scare me to death, you know. But so the hanging coaster idea, I don't know if I like that idea or not. But you know, since it's Monsters Inc., I'd like to try it. You know, it could be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Otherwise, and to have Harryhausen's there, okay? And I'm not a big sushi person. I don't like sushi, so I don't know if that's all they would, if that's all they would serve or not. I don't know, okay? But just to have Harryhausen's there, and you can walk around Monstropolis, and meet Mike and Sully and Celia and Randall, and interact with all of your favorite Monsters Inc. characters. I think that would be a great idea. I really think that would be a cool idea. It would, I think ever since that film came out, people have been begging for a Monsters Inc. Roller coaster. That Monsters Inc. Door Vault roller coaster. So I think that people have been asking that for a long time, and I'm glad it's finally going to happen. So so I think that'd be a really great idea, and it would really help, really desperately help with Hollywood Studios with its capacity, because it is this, I touched on this with my last video. It is the smallest theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort. So, adding capacity to that park in any help, in any shape or form, would be fantastic. So it's, you know, that would really help that park. So I'm really looking forward to that land. I think it's going to be fantastic. This regime knows what they're doing. It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be, you know, decals and stickers and, you know, they're not going to pull that. Okay, they're you know, this regime has more is in more control with their senses than Bob Chapek was. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to that Monsters Inc. themed land. I think it's going to be a much needed. It's going to help. It's going to help Hollywood studios. We're just going to have to wait and see because we don't really know anything else about it. I don't think it's supposed to come until like 2026, I think. So we're probably not going to know anything until the next D23 about anything else about the land. We know that we're going to get the door coaster, and we know we're going to get the themed area. We just don't know what else is going to go in the land. So I think that the next D23 is going to shed more light on that situation. So that's, yeah, so I just wanted to weigh in on that. So I you know, I think that would be a really great idea for Hollywood studios. It's just, you know, we have to let go of the fact that the movie making theme park is gone now, and now we're stepping into our favorite movies. So, you know, we just have to accept that fact that the movie making theme park is gone, it's dead, and in its place is this new theme park that's putting us into our favorite movies. So we just have to accept that fact. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you heard if you heard something smacking this counter, it's because I'm using this gimbal, and my phone is not. It doesn't balance well with this gimbal, so I have to use a weight, and the weight kept falling off. So that's why. If you heard something hit this table, it's the weight. So I apologize for that, and I keep, I had to keep putting it back on. So I apologize for that. But I mean, you know, are you excited for Monsters Inc? Are you excited that land's going in, or are you sad that, Hollywood Studios has, kind of gone, that the movie making theme park has kind of gone by the wayside now? Let me know in the comments, how you feel. I really, I have confidence with these people. I have confidence that they're going to do this right. And it's not going to be like Toy Story Land, where every time I walk through that land, it's, it feels cheap. It feels, it feels, like it just feels too amusement park-ish. At no point do I feel like I'm in Andy's backyard. So I truly believe that this group of people, this regime, is going to do this right, because they know how to spend the money. They know how to get things done. They're not number crunching people. So I have confidence that they're going to do this right. So I'm really looking forward to this project. So let me know how you feel in the comments. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you not sure? Please let me know. I'd love to hear from you folks. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel for more content. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I haven't decided what the next topic's gonna be. It's probably gonna be probably talking about either that new Cars, that new Cars ride that's going into Magic Kingdom, or I'm gonna talk more about Epcot. I'm not sure, so I'll just have to wait and we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and we will see you real soon.